Over the years, religions like Christianity have used labeling and positioning as a method to drive the narrative that it is on the side of good, constantly telling us atheists we are sinners, infidels, or heathens. This allows religion to keep a strong hold on its place within society, so we will look at that today. But we will also focus on how the new religion of wokeness may be taking this to a whole other level with an even larger array of labels, from bigot to racist to sexist to transphobe. This video will explore a bit of how they are attempting to use labels to position themselves over actually engaging in discussion. So before we jump right in, hit that subscribe button and join this supposed bigot and sinner on this journey. For years, as atheists, we have observed religious individuals employing labels and various techniques to portray themselves as the good guys while casting atheists as the bad guys. This manifests in various forms, often through labels such as sinner, heathens, and infidels. It can also be as straightforward as concluding a discussion one cannot address with the phrase "I'll pray for you," implying a sense of moral superiority. All these tactics are consistently reinforced through societal norms. They are prevalent on TV, in movies, and even in horror films, which many Christians may dislike but tend to depict God on the side of good. This approach aims to appeal to a person's desire to be virtuous rather than relying on reason and evidence. As atheists, we can clearly recognize these patterns within religious discourse. Now let's turn our attention to the religion of wokeness, and how they use these same tactics, and even take it to a different level. They have all sorts of labels they use. You question the gender pay gap, you are a sexist or misogynist. You question whether someone can just simply identify as a man or woman, you are a transphobe. You support Donald Trump, you are a fascist or a Nazi. You question the facts in the George Floyd case, it's because you are racist. You get the picture. It's not only this, but if you aren't part of that oppressed group, it's even worse. This completely ignores the fact that logic and reason do not depend on the attributes of the person making the case. It is rare at best that a person's identity has anything to do with the reasoning being used. This labeling has two effects. Firstly, for the person addressing the opposing view, they can dehumanize the presenter of the contrary perspective, making it easier to dismiss their argument as lacking merit right from the start. Secondly, when done within groups, common for the woke who often operate in mobs, both in person and online, it reinforces to onlookers that anyone opposing the view is automatically deemed bad. In online discussions, it's common to see groups of woke individuals encountering arguments against their stance. Instead of addressing these arguments, they may opt to use a laugh emoji when available. This tactic is employed to reinforce the notion that opposing views are simply laughable, allowing the individual to avoid engaging with the argument while attempting to dissuade others from considering it as having any merit. It is, at best, a dishonest tactic. Another way woke people may deploy this tactic is through defining woke as merely having empathy. This is the intellectual equivalent of a Christian saying they are not religious, they just have a personal relationship with Jesus. The person in the woke religion is just assuming their views actually help the group they claim empathy for. They don't want to discuss the facts, just shame people instead so they can avoid opposing views. To conclude this video, let's examine an area where Christians and a branch of wokeness, feminism, employ similar tactics but in polar opposite directions. While feminism predates modern wokeness, it has largely assimilated into it. The specific topic under consideration is abortion. On the Christian side, pro-life supporters may label those on the other side as murderers or describe it as genocide. As we've previously discussed, this is a tactic employed to evoke strong emotions and portray their side as the morally superior one, bypassing the need to engage with the actual argument. Conversely, within feminism, it's not uncommon to hear individuals refer to anyone not supporting feminism as sexist, misogynist, or part of the patriarchy. Again, these labels are used for similar reasons, to stifle opposing viewpoints and portray their side as morally just. In both cases, neither side is willing to entertain the perspectives of the other, as any argument from the opposing side becomes automatically associated with these divisive labels, resulting in a stagnant conversation with no progress. Alright, well, as we have seen here, woke culture works much like religion in this manner, and may even be worse. Yes, I do believe to some extent this is a bit of human nature at play, but both religion and woke culture are very good at taking advantage of this and magnifying it to make it much worse. It is to some extent glorified in both. Well, until next time, keep fighting the good fight.